In today's video, I'm talking about how to be brave and have a courageous conversation, and in particular, dealing with deflection. Now, maybe you have experienced deflection before. It actually feels a little bit like you're trying to talk about a particular topic. Maybe you're trying to resolve a particular issue with someone, and they're pulling what I would call a squirrel on you and getting you off track. And then all of a sudden, what you are working to resolve doesn't actually happen. So that's in a nutshell what deflection is. And in this video, I want to give you some strategies so that you can understand where it actually stems from and what you can do about it. So if you would like me to help reach more people to be brave and courageous and step up, speak up, and stand up in business and in life, especially if they're going through a bit of a start over phase, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well so that you catch my videos so that I can help people remember that they are the value, not the cost in this world, and that their thoughts and their words are needed. So let's jump into today. Now, number one, what is deflection? It really is a self-preservation strategy. When we feel as though our character is coming under attack, or we feel that we are being held to account, and maybe it's something that we know we should have done and we haven't done it, and we're being asked to basically own up to it, it doesn't really feel comfortable. And that discomfort can be what I would call like a deflect and protect strategy. So if you think about it in terms of a bit of a visual, it's a bit like someone is pulling a truth arrow, firing it at you, and you want to hold up a kind of defense mechanism and bounce it off and get that arrow flying somewhere else so that you don't get hit by it and you can stay safe in your bubble. Now, to give you an example of it, I'm going to talk about where it can actually stem from. And adults and children alike can be guilty of deflecting and not holding themselves to account. I certainly know I have done it in the past. I try not to do it now, but I can't guarantee that I won't do it in future, because deflecting is a little subconscious strategy that tends to happen. And we learn it as children. So as an example, I have 4 children in my household. If I need to speak to one of them about cleaning up their room, and maybe it's not the first time they have been asked to clean up their room, they may, as a strategy, depending on how the conversation is structured, work to deflect my attention to something else. And it looks like this. Have you seen what such and such has done out in the garden? They've actually been taking their baseball bat and they've been swinging it around and they've broken all your beautiful plants, and you really should go and deal with that. But because I know what deflection looks like, I can actually calm the situation and say to one of my lovely children, I appreciate that, but what we're working on right now is you actually cleaning up your room. Sometimes I do say to them, if you would like to be the parent and sort that out, I can give you a list of all of my parenting jobs and you can go do them all, which include washing and cooking and everything. And they go, no, it's fine, I'll clean my room. But it is important that you bring them back to that topic, that you acknowledge that what they say is important and that they understand, or they start to learn what deflecting looks like. Now, in my household, my children actually can recognize deflecting because they've heard it a bit. So I will hear them sometimes hold each other to account and say, you're deflecting. You need to stay focused on what this is, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing yet. I'll let you know in a few years when they have grown into fully fledged adults. But what else is important to learn in terms of deflecting is that you need to know what to do about it. And that actually comes down to how you structure your conversations. So if you want a free resource, you can grab my How to Have Hard Conversations with Ease. There's a planner down below, and look at really how you're setting up your conversation and what your options are. That's one thing to do about it. 2 is to understand, one, if you're on the receiving end or you can kind of go, I am guilty of deflecting, is learning to be a better listener and to breathe and calm yourself down so that you can explain what you're hearing from them. Even if you do have other important things that you want to talk about, park them so that you are acknowledging the person who is delivering that truth, and I hope they're delivering it with kindness to you. Now, if you are the person who is copying the deflection, so you're the deliverer of the message, what you can do in that situation is actually look at how you are languaging things for your particular audience. So, the language that you use, say, with someone at work, would be different to the language that you use with a child or with your partner, a friend, or a spouse. So, be conscious of your languaging. Now, if you're not sure how to language things in a different way, one of my favorite tools to use is Strengths Finder. I'm a certified strengths coach, and it's part of my suite of change management tools that I like to draw on when I'm helping people understand the power of their words and to drive change. And what that can actually do is give you an insight into some of the phrases and sayings that will actually resonate with that person. So, for example, one of my children is more on the sensitive side. So, my languaging will include, I understand how you feel, as opposed to one of my children, which is more who are more logical. And with them, I would say, I understand what you must be thinking. So, little subtle changes can help us to really manage the conversation and calm it down. Now, there's other things that you can do in terms of looking at the environment that you're in, really thinking through what the message is and making sure that you hold yourself, that you don't enable their deflection either, and that you are able to articulate what that behavior is. There's a few different ways that you can phrase that, whether it's to actually call it and say, you're actually deflecting right now. Can we stay on topic? That's more for if you have a mature relationship and you both understand what it is. If you are working with someone in like in a corporate environment, you might want to say things like, I understand that's important. Right now, our priority is sorting this issue. Can we please stay on topic? And it's to really own your role in the conversation and being courageous in how you manage that communication, and then to check for understanding. So if I take you back to the example of the messy room, which happens in my house, my check for understanding might be, can you let me know what you understand I want you to do? Because for one of them, cleaning their room might be that benches are spotless and they have grabbed the spray and wipe and they have done an amazing job. For another one of them, it might be picking up any clothes on the floor and shoving them in a cupboard. So it's good to check what the understanding of that is as you close out the conversation. And really, it helps them to stay on topic and understand that it's okay to make mistakes and that deflection is natural, but it's really important to be focused on the task at hand. So I hope that you have found this video helpful. Remember, there's some resources below if you need help in terms of how to be brave and courageous with your own story or what you are wanting to do in terms of self-leadership or leading others. Feel free to ask me a question below if you're wanting to facilitate positive change, or if you don't want to do it publicly, there is a little Google form where you can be anonymous and ask a question for an upcoming video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, if you found something helpful in here, I would love it if you pop a comment below. The algorithm loves that, and it really helps me to help more people in a free way. So I will see you next week. Until then, keep being brave and courageous. And remember, if you found this relatable, just type it in chat below. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.